welcome to Indicators Trader Boom and Crash. Indicators Trader Boom and Crash, the one and only channel that wants everybody to be making money in the forex industry. And today I'll be talking about important aspect of my strategy called the IBX, which is the Bollinger Band entry. Remember the last time we talked about the EMA 10 entry, where we talk about the EMA 10 crossing over the candle crossing over the EMA 10. Sorry, one of the wonderful strategy. I use it a lot. I've been making use of it for several times now. Even in fact, that is my best of it all, combined with my price action strategy that I will be sharing after this one, after the Bollinger Band entry strategy. Now, this one as well are difficult. It's just like the EMA 10 entry, but in a different dimension. You can see on my screen here the Bollinger Band, and it's just the same thing. Remember, the IBS strategy is one of the best. I've been making money with it. You can see here. You can see I've been making money, a lot of money, even from the range index. But I don't trade that. I just kind of showing people that this works out as well if you know what you're doing in the market. It's not only the strategy. Strategy is not only what is involved in trading. Please do not make that mistake thinking that strategy is what is involved. The only thing you need, someone will be saying you need a holy grail strategy. That there is no holy grail strategy. I always preach that. All you have to do is work on yourself every day. Try to improve on a particular strategy. Even if I'm giving out these strategies, the price action, the EMA 10, the RSI, the Bollinger Band, even if I give out all these strategies, if you don't make use of only a single one, if you try to make use of all, I think you're going to get yourself burnt. So you have to just choose a particular one that suits your liking, that suits your time. Because when I creating these strategies, the IBS strategy, I'm a kind of person that busy with other things. You know, trading requires your time, requires a lot of things from you, like patience and the consistency. You know, all these things are what trading requires. So while creating the IBS strategy, I found out that I needed a strategy that whenever time I look at the screen, like it occurs almost all the time. That is the kind of strategy I was looking for. That was why I created the IBS strategy, because I'm a kind of person busy with all our stuffs. I only not do trading because I haven't got into that kind of trader that wants to own a Lamborghini for now, but I pray we will get to uh, that time. So if you're struggling as well, you can look at what I've been doing here on the Indicators Trader channel to know what you have been making mistakes while trying to create a better strategy and a wonderful strategy, because the IBS strategy is one of the best. All you have to do is understand some certain points, some certain things involved. So here you can see on my screen, you have to know our rules that the before taking a trade of the buy or the sell, you have to know the direction of the market. And knowing the direction of the market, you need the two EMA you can see, which is the pink indicator you're seeing on my screen, the EMA, the moving average you're seeing on my screen, the yellow EMA you're seeing on my screen. All these things are the things you need in order to know the direction, uh, know the direction of the market. So why trading the Bollinger Band entry? Remember the last time we talked about the EMA entry, we talked about it crossing, a kind of crossing over for a buy, crossing over the EMA 10 for a buy and crossing below for a sell. So on this one here, I always use this Bollinger Band for buying opportunities. Sometimes for selling, I don't normally use it all the time, but it works sometimes. But you have to know your risk management before you know what to uh, what you're going to trade. Know your risk management, your risk appetite before you know um, before you take a trade. So let's look at this. You see the Bollinger Band, like what I was saying, you have to know the direction of the market using the higher time frame. You can use the 4 hours. You can use the I always use the 4 hours the 1 hour. If I want to trade on 1 minute, I use it 4 hours. If I want to trade on 5 minutes, I use 1 day or 4 hours to know the direction of the market. Like here, you can see the market is obviously on a downtrend. You can see it here, the crossing of the EMA, the crossing of the candle here below this one and this the EMAs. That is the is 700 and the EMA 90. That is the pink and the blue indicator. Now, using the Bollinger Band entry, you have to know that it has the upper band. The Bollinger Band has an upper band and a lower band, and the middle line you're seeing here, moving average you're seeing here, is the 20 period on the Bollinger Band. So you have to know that the candles have to be below the three of this. This is the period 20, the one on the Bollinger Band. The candle has to be below it, below the blue and below the 700 for you to ascertain that this is a downtrend. So when you see these things below it like this, the EMA 700, the period 20 of the Bollinger Band, and the EMA 90, you know this is a downtrend. Then you can start taking your trade on the 5 minutes time frame, knowing fully well that you're on the right side with the markets. So how do you make use of the Bollinger Band? How do you make an entry using the Bollinger Band? Now you have seen that the market is below like this. So what do you do with this thing here? Like I said before, I don't use this for selling, but I want to talk about the buying first because that is the most important one I use. I use it for buying opportunities. I don't use it for selling all the time because my EMA 10 is here. So, but if you want to make use of it for selling as well, I'm coming for that. Let's go to the one I wanted to show you. So, first of all, you have to confirm it at the higher time frame, that is the 4 hours, that the market is an uptrend before going down. You know what I showed you, and before I started this conversation, the Bollinger Band, I mean the candles has to be below the period 20 of the Bollinger Band, the blue indicator, the pink indicator. If the market is below, that is the downtrend. So now for you to make use of it for buying, you have to know that the candle has to be above. Let's go to the higher time frame of the 4 hours. You have to see this stuff here. You have to see this, probability, sometimes this, but for me, these two alone is important. These two alone, being this one here is mostly important for me. I don't mind if this is below and if this is below, but you want to be on a safer side, you have to see these two. You have to see the candle above this one and this one, just like what we have at this point here, what we have here, from this point, from here, yeah, that one here. Let me change the color to something. Let me change it to something like this. What we have here, like here, when the candle was to that color, when the candle was here, this hammer, whatever you might call it, I would have been thinking to buy the crash 1000 from the next candle. You know, I would have been thinking to buy the crash because it's above this one here, it's above this other one here. So I don't care about this one, but I will explain what this one is working whenever time you see it here. I will explain what that one is working as well. So when you want to buy the crash 1000, you want to see on the Bollinger Band entry is that you want to see the candles above the 20 period of the Bollinger Band. You want to see the candles above like this. You want to see it. Sometimes to be on the safer side, you have to see this as well, being above this one and above this one. That is the pink and the blue, have to be above those two. But for me, what I do is that whenever time I see this one here, whenever time I see that the candles are above the period 20, I think that is a buy on the lower time frame, to buy on the lower time frame, so that is how I use this to scalp um, the crash and the boom indexes on the in the Bollinger Band entry. So now when you see this on the higher time frame, let's say the candles are above the period 20 on the higher time frame, That is the candles. There's this candles are above this one here. That is the period 20 on the higher time frame. We head down to the lower time frame of the 5 minutes. Head down on the 5 minutes. Now, what do you want to see on the lower time frame? What do you want to see? Not this thing. You don't want to see this. You don't want to see this or this. You don't want to see this because this is a downtrend. It's obvious. It's obvious. It's a downtrend. Remember what I said on my last video. If you've not watched the the explanation of the EMAs, what the EMAs works, please go and watch. That is my first video on this YouTube channel. That is the first video. You have to go and watch it. That is it. So you have to see that the candles are above to buy on this. To buy on this, you have to see that this is the best time to buy, to use this Bollinger Band entry. But if you see this, you see this like this. This is a downtrend. This is a downtrend. I'm coming for the sell entry. I'm coming for that. But let's just look at the buy entry first before we think about that one. So when you see that the candles are above the period 20 at the 4 hours time frame, what you have to do is come to the 5 minutes and look for this. The Bollinger Band must be above the 700 and this the pink, that is the 90 EMA. It must be above this one here. It must be above it. The pink and the blue. So the Bollinger Band has to be, so it has to be like this. It has to be like this in order for this strategy to work. In order for this strategy to work, it has to be like this. If you don't see it like this, please do not buy using this strategy. Do not buy at all using this strategy. In forex, it's not only always about the strategy. It's not always about the strategy. You have to know that psychology is involved. On this YouTube channel, I say that a lot. Trading is not about the strategy. Those looking for holy grail strategy, there is no holy grail strategy. If you're looking for it, you're going to search this until you say forex is a scam and let go. No, there is no holy grail strategy. You have to look for one particular strategy and try to improve on it in order for you to become a better trader. If you want to really make profit from this market. So even me giving out my strategy, I talk about the risk management involved. So on this channel, on this Bollinger Band entry, I'm gonna give you where your stop loss should be, where you should place your stop loss, and it's very tight. It's very tight and sweet. So now you have seen that this market is above, just like this, and you have checked at the lower time frame that is also above the period 20, just like this is above. Now what you have to do is you wait for a crash like what you're seeing here. You wait for a crash just like this. You see, this crash touched the lower band of the Bollinger Band. Now immediately touch, you do not place your trade instantly. What you have to do is to wait for a buy signal, that is a candle of a buy entry to close. 5 minutes. You wait for another 5 minutes for a buy signal to come out. Immediately the pop-up of the buy signal, that is when you enter. So if you're about to enter this trade, you're supposed to enter this trade from this candle and you scalp all the way. If you get to this place, you might close, or you trade your stop loss. That is what I do sometimes. I trade my stop loss. So I trade my stop loss, or sometimes I want to leave it to get to this. I will target this other one here, this upper band here, and I put it as my take profit. So where your stop loss should be is here. You have to look at this. Immediately you see that one there, you take your stop loss. I think your stop loss should be like 8 to 10. It should be like 10 pips. 10 pips after that entry. It should be like 10 pips. You see what I'm doing? That should be like 10 pips, because that's how I use this for my entry. I use it after the candle. That should be like 10 pips. 10 pips below, just like this. This is this is where your stop loss should be, just here. You see this distance, that is where your stop loss should be. That is how I place it, and I kill the market all the time. That is it. So it's not that it's going to happen always all the time. Like I said before, there is no holy grail strategy. That is why if it hits my profit, fine, I try again before I blow up a $20, a $10, a $50, $100, a $1,000. I know what I've achieved with this. I know what I've achieved. That is how I calculate these things. It's not that my strategy is going to hit all the time. I just know my risk management. If it hits 10 pips, see my target is always at the top. Let me take it there so you see what I'm talking about. See my target almost a 19 to 20, so that is enough for me for the day. If I'm using one lot size, depending on my account size, that should be 14 to that should be 19 to $20, or sometimes 30. If I'm trading my stop loss, I hit $100, I hit a $50, and I close. That is how I trade using this strategy. This is how I trade it. So you can see it always all the time. You see here, it didn't work like expected here. You see, it didn't work as expected. You should have been hit out from this point here. So that is what I'm talking about. It won't work all the time. I'm not those kind of person that will tell you that take my strategy is going to hit all the time. It's 100%, it's 90%. No, it doesn't hit all the time. You can see this one here. It happened here where in profit we made. If I've lost in that one, I would have entered here and I make profit almost here. Again, I hit a take profit and I close my market here. It didn't touch. Remember, it must touch. You see, it didn't happen here. It didn't happen here. So you have to know your risk appetite. You have to know your risk appetite to not happen always. To not happen always, but when it happens, you will hit the market. And I've been making money with this. That is the truth. You can see, you can see all the time. All the time, I've been making money with this. 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 So you have to understand the risks involved. So if you see this that is below this 90, please do not try it. If it's below the 90, that is the blue indicator, please do not try this. Do not try this. It must be above the market must be trending above the 90 and above the 700, which is the pink indicator, above this one here and this one here. It must be above before you make an entry with that strategy, and you must check it at the 4 hours to see if the market is below, just like this. If the market is below here, if the market is below this, please do not buy that crash. Do not buy the crash. You have to see this happening before you think of buying crash. You have to see this before you think of buying crash. So if you don't see that, just leave the market. So why some of these things are not working in the lower time frame is that you see that the crash has been on the downtrend for, see, has been on the downtrend, except here that it crossed over being in the midnight Nigerian time. You see, it crossed over before then. So all this time the market has been below. So crash 1000 has been on a downtrend, so you don't need to buy crash 1000. Let me check other let's see boom on the higher time frame. If it's let's see if it's on a, okay, you see this market is on uptrend. So on the EMA 10, I don't know, I talked about the ranging aspect. If you see something like this, please avoid the market. Avoid the market. If you see that the market is not going front, is not going upward, is just within a range, please avoid the market. Do not trade the market, except you see what I'm about to tell you now. Except you see this, the market closing like this, closing like this. This is where you have to start buying selling the market, except you see this is how you have to where you have to start selling the market. But if you see that the market is within a range like this, I know I can make profit from here. Even other traders can make profit while scalping the market. They can make profit from this zone if you understand the market. But if you don't, please, if you see this, please trade do not trade the market. Avoid the market. No need to buy or sell at that instance. You have to avoid the market. Now let's see if we are going to get something from, let's see this now. Let's see this candle from the 5 minute. Sorry, you have to see. I want to show you something that happened. I haven't checked this, but let me show you on the 5 minutes. Let's see what happened here. It's going to take us here. No, it did. I don't think it did. Uh, okay. I've seen it. I think I saw it. You see, from that zone, the market started selling. From that zone, the market started selling, and you can see that the market is below. Is below. The market is below this one here, and this one here. So at this point is where I start selling the boom. Now, what do I want to wait for? What the next thing I'll be looking at for is that I have to see the market. See, you see this. You see, this is what happened here. Sold. You see that? That is how this strategy works. Sold. If you're trailing your stop loss, you would have been on a big profit here. So that is how I use this, and I wait again. You see, this went up, but did not produce this. That is the selling candle. It touched it but did not produce the selling candle. That is where don't trade the boom. I don't sell the boom. I just leave the market. You see, it has been going up all this while, and is now above the blue indicator. And I don't do this. I don't try to sell it here. I don't try to sell it here until I see the market flowing flowing below the uh, blue indicator. That is how I do this. So if you see this, you sell immediately. You see it, but when it crosses above the blue indicator, please do not sell the boom or do not buy the crash. That is how I trade with it. So you have to understand these things. You see it, trading below. You can see this one here. This one you would have caught this one too. Sold. You see, this is how the strategy works like magic. It works like magic, but it's not a holy grail. You have to understand your risk management. I've showed you how you should place your stop loss for the crash 1000. It's still the same thing for the crash uh, uh, 500, the boom 500. You have to be like 10 pips above, 10 pips above. So you target like 20 to 19th or something, or you trade your stop loss. Me, I love trailing my stop loss. That gives me enough confidence. So that is it. You have to see the market in that condition. You can see it touched it, sold before it crashed. Now it turned back, and watch what happened. You see this, the same thing occurring almost all the time. You sell and trade your stop loss, and you make a lot of money. So that is how I use this. So the IBS strategy is one of the best strategy. I don't think I can compare it with any other. I've made use of many strategies while I was uh, learning from mentors. I learned many strategies, but I don't think the IBS that I created is comparable with any of those. It's comparable with any of those. You can see it almost all the time. All the time that the market is below. You just make your money in a cool form, but put your mind in a right form. Not that you hit a loss 1 2 3, you quit and say this strategy does not work. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And know your equity size in order to relate it with your uh, lot size. Relate your lot size with your equity size. You do not have you have a $10 account size and you want to use one lot size. No, you want to blow up your account. That is just the truth. You want to blow up your account. You have a $50 account. You want to use one lot size. You want to blow up your account. So you have to know these things, because if you don't know these things, I don't think you're going to make money. No matter the strategy, no matter the strategy I give you, you won't make it. Because I'm not looking for your money to do this. I just want everyone, for those that feel like trading is a scam, for you to know how these things works. You just put your mind in the right set that trading is not a get rich quick scheme. You just have to use the gradual process. Use a gradual process in order to achieve your aim. Without that, I don't think you're going to uh, make it in this industry. You're going to try all the nonsense on YouTube, and not even the nonsense. You try even the best strategies they will give you on YouTube, you still blow up your channel. You say trading is a scam. So you have to know that psychology is very important. Let's go to boom 1000. Let's see if boom is on a downtrend on the 4 hours. If I see boom on a downtrend on the 4 hours, then I think my strategy is going to work. But okay, my people, you can see what is happening. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. I think we're gonna catch a lot of things here. Let's go to the 5 minutes and see if this thing is working or is not working. Because I know it's not going to work all the time, it's not going to work all the time. But see, now the market has crossed below the 700. Yeah, you see, the market has crossed below, and you see this thing happening like magic, man. You see, sold. You see, sold. This thing is something that I've looked out for. Now I told you that it's not going to work all the time. Like what happened here, you would have been hit at this point here, but at least a lower amount, So this is it as well. This is it as well. This is it as well. But the thing here is that I sometimes I don't trade the crash 1000 because of its the crash 1000, especially when I'm using uh, a lower equity, because it's very volatile. It's very volatile, and using a 10 pips for the stop loss sometimes is it's like it hits me and go the direction I was expecting it, because the 10 pips is very small for it. So I use like sometimes I use like 20, targeting 60, 40, like that, or use a trailing stop loss. You see, the same thing. It will touch, and you wait for a selling candle. Remember, you must wait for a selling. If you don't see a selling candle, please do not place a sell or a buy. You wait for it. You have to wait for it. You have to wait for it to happen. Just, you see, just scalp the market and go for the day. I know how much you would have made from here. So you have to understand that these things really works. It really works all the time. It really works all the time. So that is it for the crash. That is it for the crash and the boom. Now let's go for the selling. I said I was going to come back to that one. Let's go for the selling. Now I said I don't use it all the time for selling. I don't use it all the time for selling, but or for selling crash, sorry, and for buying boom. I don't use it all the time, but if I want to use it, this is what I do. Now, remember, it's still the same thing, just the opposite. You have to see it. You have to see it above the pink. Now, see what I do. I have to see this. That whenever time it booms like this, here I put a spy. When it booms and crosses over the period 20, that is when I buy the boom. You see that now. You see the thing. It must cross below the 20 uh, period. It must cross the below the 20 period, and when it crosses below and spikes above like this, that is when I buy. Okay. So that is how I use it, but I don't use it all the time because I love using my I love using my uh EMA 10 entry. That is what I love using. Must cross below, and when it spikes, you buy. That is how I just use this thing to do. So let's go to the crash and see the same thing occurring in crash. Let's use crash 500. They are all the same thing now. You see, when it crashes and crashes below, it crashes below. That is when I say, but this thing must be below the 90, below the 90 and the 700 before you think of selling the crash. So you have to be below. Let me look for a better example of what I'm talking about. Just like this, it is now it's trending below it. It's trending below. So when it crosses, you sell, you make money. You scalp the market and make money, and that is how I use it for selling. But I don't use it often. I don't use it often. You must cross the period 20, and when it crashes and crosses below it, put a sell and you make money and you go. That is how I use it for selling the car. It happens almost all the time. It happens almost all the time. But I don't use it because the candles are too large for me to place my lot size. That is just the simple truth why I don't use it all the time. Sometimes it spikes just like this. Spikes just like this. Now the candles are below, but there is something also I developed that I use in order to place my stop loss in a better way. When it crashes like this, when it crashes like this, now when it crashes like this, what I do is I calculate the pips of the candle and I divide it by two. That is how I use it. When I divide it by two, that is half of the when the candle has gotten to half, just like what we have here. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. Now you see this. Let's calculate the pips. I use this tool here and calculate. When you see this one here, and it's like the pips, the candle size is like, let us say 10, and 10 is to that is 5. So when I this is where I place my entry here, 5, exactly 5 here. When it's like the candle has to trace back to like 5 pips, that is when I put a sell, and that is how I use it to make money. So the IBS strategy is one of the best strategy that I've ever seen. If you can't make money using this strategy, I don't. If you don't make money using it, I don't think you're going to make money in the trading industry. If you don't make money, like things, other strategies are not working for you, and you use the IBS strategy and you don't make money, I don't think you're going to make money in the forex industry. If you have other things that you're using to make money, stay on it. If you're using the SMC, if you're using the ICT, stay on those ones. So you don't need to search all the strategies in order for you to uh, make money. Just stick to one strategy, work on your risk management, and with the grace of God, I think you're gonna get to that point. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the price action entry that is coming up. I'll soon release that one. That one is one of the best of it all. The price action entry. I know some of you have been waiting for that. The price action entry and the RSI entry. These are the two uh aspect of this strategy that I love. These are the two especially the price action. You can even use the price action combining with other strategies that I've given to you. I think with these two, you're good to go. So stay tuned for more of this. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. We need more subscribers. Share for those uh, your friends or families that have been struggling with trading to follow up this channel so you could do well as well, so everybody will make money from the forex industry. Thanks for watching once again. My name is Prince. Thank you.